Today's topic is breathing. Welcome to another episode of Tongue Tie Tuesdays. Most singers with tongue tie experience inefficient or uncomfortable breathing. Many also suffer from allergies and asthma. We're going to find out 3 reasons why. One of my voice teachers would frequently say, professionals use air, amateurs conserve air. There's definitely a right way to use air. When a singer learns to be connected to their abdominal and pelvic floor support, or if they've managed to intuitively stay connected, the breath will flow at a good velocity, or amount and speed. The diaphragm works synergistically alongside the abdominal and pelvic muscles. The other thing that influences velocity is the vocal folds, below which we can build up a useful amount of sub-glottal pressure to speak or sing. But check this out. Something happens to the larynx when we breathe in. When the lungs reach peak inhalation, they pull downward on the trachea. This lowers the larynx from below very naturally, ready to start singing your phrase. So what happens when the larynx isn't free but is pulled upward by tongue-tied muscles? That tension that originates all the way up at the lingual frenulum is transferred directly to the lung organs. This reduces breath and spreads tension further through the thorax and abdomen. Watch the larynx episode for more on that. Another factor is fascia and muscle. This super strong web-like structure surrounds every muscle and organ in the body. If you've watched my Tongue Tie Tuesday on the whole body, you already know where this huge network of fascia begins. It's the floor of mouth fascia. A tongue tie can actually cause tension in the fascia, not just in the abdomen, but around the lungs. My research team and I will share more on this when our paper is done. And through the muscle chains, tension is generally present in the neck, shoulders, and upper rib cage, reducing expansion. The muscle chains have a checkpoint at the pelvis, which is possibly why the pelvic floor and sacrum have such a close relationship to the tongue and jaw, which inspires me. Next week's topic, we will talk about the pelvic floor. In brief, it is often inflexible, which impacts on a singer's breath control. Okay, Jacqueline, the logic is there, but how do we know this applies to many singers with tongue tie? Well, in 2021, Julia Radosh hosted the Tongue Symposium, now published on YouTube, in which tenor and breathing coach Bryce Lupoli presented and singers shared testimonies. From this, as well as a paper by Summers-Gill et al. 2023, in which 11 out of 12 singers with tongue tie reported breath problems, we know that this is a common occurrence. Thirdly, mouth breathing. Even though we can take in more air through the mouth, the body actually gets less oxygen. The nose filters, warms, and moisturizes the air we breathe. But in mouth breathing, the cooler, dry, unfiltered air hits the lungs. Their passageways actually shrink as a protective measure. With the airway irritation caused by mouth breathing, there are higher rates of asthma, allergies, and enlarged tonsils and adenoids, and anxiety. Much of these can be resolved by working on breathing habits and tongue posture. The tongue being in a proper position is only possible with nose breathing because it rests up in the hard palate and seals off the mouth. If the tongue is low, as with tongue tie, the back of the tongue takes up airway space and can cause sleep-disordered breathing and sleep apnea. The good news is shrinkages that occur in the nasal passage and lungs widen again when consistently used. If you are excited to realize that the larynx, trachea, and lungs are all part of the same structure, join the club. The very good news in all of this is that 96% of tongue-tied singers experience greater breath efficiency after tongue release. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, Facebook, follow, and ask questions in the comments.